On the one hand, they are saying we want to be as transparent as possible. And on the other hand, they're saying we're not releasing anything. So they, on the transparency part, they say we want to be transparent and we're going to go to court and we're going to ask judges to release grand jury transcripts. They know that the law on that issue is dead set against them, so they can blame the courts when they say no. It's also in grand jury transcripts, the actual proceedings in the grand jury are the area where it's least likely that Donald Trump's name appears. By contrast, the part where they're not turning anything over is all of the voluminous investigative material, which the Wall Street Journal now is reporting, which something that we sort of assumed had to be true, but now the reporting is it is true, which is that material has Donald Trump's name in it. And of course, shouldn't be surprising because there's so much reporting that the two of them knew each other and socialized with each other. It doesn't mean that Donald Trump committed a crime, but his reaction to this is the thing that's probably the most telling, because it certainly is he protests too much. But that material, and this is sort of the take home, I think, for everyone, and when I think about this, is that material, the voluminous investigative material that the Department of Justice has, that can be turned over right now, today, this minute. There is no grand jury requirement that you go to court to turn that over. So here, if the Department of Justice and the Trump administration is saying, oh, we want to be transparent, that is information that they don't need to go to the court and turn over. We just saw them do that in the Martin Luther King Jr. files, turning that over. So you really are seeing this continuation of a schizophrenic approach, and the Wall Street Journal reporting gives you certainly a motive for why they are sort of, on the one hand, saying we're going to go to court, and the other hand saying the stuff that's most likely to name Donald Trump, we are not disclosing.
His campaign, a hoax. The Mueller report, a hoax. The perfect phone call impeachment #1, a hoax. Global warming, climate change, a hoax. COVID, a hoax. Election, a hoax. Impeachment #2, a hoax. The January 6th committee, a hoax. The perfect phone call and federal charges in Georgia, a hoax. Top secret files found in his bathroom, a hoax. More federal indictments, a hoax. Federal convictions on felony charges, a hoax. Donald Trump uses the word hoax like fool magic fairy dust. He just sprinkles it on reality, and the fools believe the truth has disappeared. That is ending. The Epstein hoax is going to break Donald Trump and MAGA, because they will finally see that pattern. Now that he is disparaging them with the exact same terms that he has called Democrats and leftists and everybody who opposes him, stupid weakling fools, they will come to see that Donald Trump simply addresses the truth with lies and calls it a hoax. The only way MAGA will finally come to learn what happened with Jeffrey Epstein is to admit that they were fooled and conned and lied to about everything for 10 years. There is no easy off-ramp for them. So it is our job to keep the pressure up. Make sure you're calling your reps, reposting everything you can about Epstein, because Donald Trump is cracking. He is decompensating. He is experiencing narcissistic collapse. His grandiosity and lies, if you can believe it, are increasing. He doesn't remember that he appointed the Fed chair. He doesn't know that his uncle never talked to him about Kaczynski, because Kaczynski wasn't outed as the Unabomber until well after his uncle had died. He doesn't know that Jeffrey Epstein died 6 years ago when he was president, not 3 years ago when Biden was president. Donald Trump has no idea what's happening right now, and he is foaming with lies, projection, and blame. It is time to crack him. So let us keep the pressure up, and let us remind MAGA that we are here for you to reunite as a country when you finally recognize you have been lied to and return to the truth.
I had to move to Ireland because I knew that Trump is a sick, sick man. And he has an obsession with me since I called him out in 2006 on The View, which was my job. Told the truth about him, and he went insane, because anyone who tells the truth about him, he tries to destroy, including Stephen Colbert. But you know what? Stephen Colbert is too wise, too smart, too God-loving to ever be held down by that con man. And I, for one, am very happy that we get another 9 months of Stephen Colbert. And shame on Paramount. And shame on all of the corporate media companies who are bowing to him and kissing his ring and sucking his you-know-what. Because this is the worst human that's ever been in the office. Bar none. Bar none. And America, you deserve better. And we must demand it. We must demand it.
We were contacted by a highly credible whistleblower describing Attorney General's pressure on FBI to quickly review and produce more Epstein documents as promised. For 2 weeks in late March, the FBI assigned approximately 1,000 personnel in its Information Management Division and hundreds of additional agents from the New York field office to work 24-hour shifts to review and produce more Epstein documents. These officials were told to, quote, flag any records in which President Trump was mentioned. Essentially, agents were pulled out of their field from their work combating narcotics and violent crime to review this mountain of documents. Other important FBI work was effectively shut down, according to the whistleblower. Using tens of thousands of personnel hours at the expense of public safety for no other reason than to try to bolster baseless claims you've made is unconscionably reckless.
It's supercalifascist, racist, sexist, Nazi, POTUS. Even though the shit he does is really quite atrocious, somehow lots of people in this country fail to notice that he is a fascist, racist, sexist, Nazi, POTUS. Hum-ding-a-digger on Epstein's Isle, hum-ding-a-digger on Epstein's Isle, hum-ding-a-digger on Epstein's Isle. Hey, where are the Epstein files?
President Trump sought to overturn the results of an election, and of a fair election. He sought a coup by misleading people with lies. My father and our neighbors were misled also with lies, and I know where such lies lead. President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever. The good thing is that he soon will be as irrelevant as an old tweet. But what are we to make of those elected officials who have enabled his lies and his treachery? I will remind them of what Teddy Roosevelt said. Patriotism means to stand by the country. It does not mean to stand by the president. Now, John F. Kennedy wrote a book called Profiles in Courage. A number of members of my own party, because of their own spinelessness, would never see their names in such a book, I guarantee you.
Whole dang country wants to know where's the Epstein list, but Trump would rather change the subject. Yeah, it goes a little something like this. There's a video of him telling Jeff a joke. Time to go online and say there's sugar in our Coke. There's a card he sent to Jeff for his big birthday. Time to tell the NFL, go back to your old names, the problematic ones. Jeff was at his second wedding, it's causing lots of drama. Hurry up, turn on caps lock and say, let's arrest Obama. So many pictures of those two, yeah, they are not rare. Time to talk some trash about me, Kimmel and Colbert. Oh. Steal the trophy, raise a tariff, complain about T-Swift. Post a foot pic, sell some crypto, get a new butt lift. Threaten Greenland, dance on TikTok, yeah, you get the gist. Anything to get us stop asking about that Epstein list.
It's time for the Trucker John live stream. Gonna be a good time, oh yeah. The Trucker John live stream. Come along for a good time. It's a good time, good time, good time, good time. Trucker John live stream. It's gonna be a good time. Gonna be the time of your life. Gonna talk some shit. Hush your mouth. Gonna talk a little smack. Gonna talk whatever comes of it. You're gonna always wanna come back. Well, yeah, it's the Trucker John live stream. He's the biggest, baddest, funniest mother you've ever seen. Watch your mouth, he's headed south. Not even sure what that means, but if it's one thing I know, the Trucker John live stream is the best thing you've ever seen.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for. Trucker John. Hey everybody. 1 minute. There you go. Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello, everybody. Good morning. Oh, I forgot to put my watch on. I do see that it's 9:28. In the AM. I'm eating my toast. If you don't mind. I'm getting it all over me. A little toast and jelly. All right, guys. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. I'm having some coffee and some toast, as one might do in the morning time. Thanks for being here. I don't know what the current temperature is, but it's supposed to be a high of about 100. 101, which is just about average for this time of year. I hope you guys are doing well wherever you might be. Let's see. I'm not able to scroll to the top of the chat, but I do believe that if I saw it correctly earlier, that Brooklyn, SJU, aka Trixie LaRue, I believe, may have been first in the chat. If I was reading that correctly. So thank you, Brooklyn, SJU, aka Trixie LaRue, for being in here, waiting patiently for me. I do appreciate you, and everyone else who's been in here waiting to get this monstrosity of a show started. I appreciate you. As I munch on my toast. All right, so what do you guys think, man? Do you guys think Trump could possibly be in the Epstein files? Make sure you guys like, subscribe, and share, by the way. So let me pick up on the chat where, as far as I'm able to scroll up, it's where Jolie says, has an emoji of some sort, well, a trucker emoji, I think, and says number 2, and then there's like another emoji with a smiling face and a wave. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm starting at. That's where we have to start today. It won't let me start all the way at the beginning. Sometimes it lets me, and sometimes it doesn't. I don't know. We got 24 good folks watching, 28 thumbs up. So we are operating at a surplus there, I guess. Volume good for Damon Dog. Thank you. For that. So we got Alvin Steuben here. Hello, Alvin. Good to see you. William's here. William. Hello, William. Jolie is saying hi to Sandy Foltz, so I'm assuming Sandy's here. So hello, Sandy. AM's here. Hello, AM. AM on your dial. Nick Rich is here. Old 56 Nick Rich. Hello, Nick. Good to see you. Yeah, there's Sandy. Hello, Sandy. Good to see you too. Carrie C's here. Hello, Carrie C. Top of the morning to you. I know for some of you folks, it's already afternoon. I realize we have time zones, things of this nature. Nick Rich 917 is when he posted that in Vegas. So what am I? How many minutes behind am I? Like 14 minutes or something? That's not too bad. There's Robert Perez from down San Diego way. Says top of the morning, Trucker John, and all Democratic voters have an excellent day. Thank you, Robert. Right back at you. Sammy Carter, sorry, just had to take the dogs out. Hi, all. Well, hello, Sammy. Yeah, take them dogs out because they got, they can't hold it forever. Sammy Carter from across the pond in merry old London reports that it's 5:18, or when the post was made, 5:18, probably about 14 minutes ago. 5:18, so it's after 5 in the evening there in London. I would love to go see London one time before I leave this earth. I'm going to see London. Somebody B2 is here. Hey, Steph's here, and Stephanie B2 reports my new hip is doing well. Well, congratulations, Stephanie. Glad to hear it. I'm glad your hip didn't reject you. I know it's been a long time coming getting that surgery, and you finally got it, and I'm glad to hear everything's going well. I don't know. I know you guys always tell me that you can't hear the AC. Can you hear the air blower? There's like the, I guess the landscapers out there. And so I got the AC in my left ear, and as well as the maintenance landscape maintenance guy with his air blower, leaf blower thing going on. And it can be a bit distracting, if nothing else. Let's see. All right, I have now finished my toast, so you don't have to continue watching me eat the toast. Let's see. Aaron West is here. Hello, Aaron. So we are at full mod capacity. Good to hear. Damon Dog, it's always in threes. Malcolm Jamal Warner, Ozzy, and now Hulk Hogan. Really? This is breaking news to me. I'm just now hearing it. The Hulkster, huh? Wow. Please, for the love of God, how many leaves are out there? We don't even have leaves. What are you doing? Anyhow, how long does it take to blow a couple fucking twigs away or whatever it is? There's nothing out there. For God's sakes. Okay, he left. I think he left. Mr. Bob Newell, your intro is boring. Mr. Bob Newell, you're boring. You're so boring. Actually, I think that Mr. Bob Newell might be one of those folks that were the opposite. He really means the opposite. Let's see. Josh is here. Hey, Josh, good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the old driver's lounge. Nick Rich, John is more than fashionably late today. I don't know. I think I was only about 15 minutes late. I mean, that's pretty much par for the course, isn't it? I don't know. 72, I'm going to make some oatmeal cat chat. While I do that, I'll be lurking. Absolutely. No, nothing wrong with doing other stuff. Have me playing in the background. There's Brooklyn SJU, aka Trixie LaRue, saying hi to Josh. Oh, yeah. Everyone likes to say, all the ladies like to say hi to Josh. I've noticed. Nick Rich, we hear you. So, yeah, I guess this is where I just came in. Just coming on in here, and you guys are giving me the thumbs ups, which is cool. WW says, laughing out loud, nothing happening. Tony's a rerun, and John is playing Dead Air. Where was the Dead Air? Did I have Dead Air? I mean, maybe for, 2 seconds when I was just turning the mic on? I don't think 2 seconds really counts as dead air. I don't think it really becomes dead air until it's like, I don't know, 5 seconds? Am I wrong in that? Tell me if I'm wrong. Is 2 seconds of dead air really dead air? Or is that just Wes being a silly little dick? Just kidding, Wes. You know how we are. Fresh slate, clean slate. And by the end of the show, we'll be at each other's necks or whatever, I guess. WW says maybe. I think I may have forgot to turn off my Do Not Disturb on my phone. Because the phone just rang, and that's not supposed to happen. And it kind of cut the show off for a second there. You might have had some dead air for a couple seconds there. Maybe he's going to the bathroom. Hey, Jolie, do you think he forgot about us? My God, W, I've been way later than this, than what I was today. So. Nick Rich, turn up your volume, Wes. You muted John the last time. David Dog, I'm having lunch, hot and spicy beef ramen, and a Diet Pepsi. Yummy! Jolie apparently was first in chat. Not Brooklyn SJU, okay, Trixie LaRue. Alrighty, and Jolie wants to make sure we know that, or I know that. So thank you, Jolie, for being here. Thanks for being first in chat. I appreciate you. I do appreciate you. W says, laughing aloud, my volume is on. Are you people hearing sound? And Jolie says, yes, the sound is fine, WW. Clean out the wax out of your ears there, W. WW. And now here I am just now getting to W's. After he said, I gave yesterday, then he gives again today. $1.11. Thank you, WW. And, of course, you get the yippee. I hope that was good enough for you. Thank you, WW. And I hope you heard that. Did you hear it? Nick Rich West already achieved getting our attention. I do appreciate that, though. Help get the show. Maybe we can get some gear. Nick Rich was saying I need gear. I need a better stand or something. WW laughing loud. I think that is my job, Richie. I'm the resident troll. Resident troll, yeah, that pretty much fits the bill. Nick Rich, the goal is at what minimum today? Oh, I guess that wasn't a super chat because it still says 0 for 5. So that must have been a super sticker. Super stickers don't count towards the goal. Nick Rich says the goal is at what? Well, I've got it at 5 super chats. Jolie says WW. Mike H is the resident troll. That's Joel the troll, by the way. You're a troll light. We might have competing trolls here with Mike H and W. But I will admit, I guess, that WW seems to be a little more, at least does seem to be here more. Mike H, you just never know when he's going to pop in. What if I didn't do the goal right or something? I don't know. Album Stoops here. Roxanne Epstein. Good to see Roxanne E. Howdy Chugger and Lounger. Hello, Roxanne. Roxanne says, Hulk Hogan, really? I'm just hearing it from, was it Damon Dog or somebody that put that in there? I hadn't heard earlier. Jolie says it says oh, that's what it is. I did not mean to do that. I always set it at just like anything. Like there's all these, options. And I usually just set it at anything. That means you can do whatever you want. As low as you pretty much as low. I don't whatever the lowest is, 99 cents or whatever, I don't know. Up to whatever the highest is. So I always put it on that option. But today, apparently, in my stupor, my morning stupor, I must have set it at teal, which I did not mean to do that. But $2 isn't that much. So I guess, are we going to roll with it? Should I roll with it? So we're 0 for 5. So I don't know. I really mean that. I always put it at all, or so that you can do whatever you want. But I did not mean to. It was an accident. That was an accident. I did not mean to put it at teal super chat. Well, we'll just stick with it. We'll see how it goes. Let's just we'll just see how it goes. I'm game if you guys are game. MJ Daniel says it's Nevada, and all there is to blow away is dust. Oh yeah. Well, we do have some landscaping out there. Some actually, it's kind of nice. It's pretty. The little bushes and trees that are out there, but Laura Lee's here. Hey, Laura Lee says, "Dang, Hulk Hogan be dead." Always comes in threes, don't they? Yeah, that's what we were talking about. It's always in threes. I didn't. I probably didn't have Hulk Hogan on my Deadpool. Although he is, getting up. What was he in his 70s or close to 80? Yeah, that's when these things start to happen. When you get close to 80, maybe all the roids caught up to him. Maybe, I don't know. Don't take roids if you want to live past 80, kids. Sandy Foltz says you better stop yelling before you get evicted again. All right, point taken, Sandy. You're right. Yeah, I better be on my best behavior. Yeah. What? That's funny. Yeah, I thank you for the reminder. WW, I guess $1.11 dog cat toward the goal. I guess not. And I just explained it. I did not mean to do that. It was an accident. But and I know the $2 thing doesn't work out with your numerology of certain numbers are godly or whatever. But what can I tell you? What can I tell you? MJ Daniel says, I will speak ill of the dead, in this case, fuck Hulk Hogan. Yeah. There are some people that rule doesn't apply to. Hulk Hogan probably being one of them. I think Adolf Hitler would be another, and I think Donald Trump will be another. WW says, I got a shout out this morning on WNIJ radio saying was a great songsmith I was. Wow, W, you've arrived. You have arrived. WNIJ radio shouting out. Old West, do they know you as Wes Webb, or do they what is your nom de plume? Whatever the fuck they call that. I'm hung up here, guys. I'm probably getting knocking over the camera stand again. Nick Rich says, dead air is when nothing is heard. We need dead air from the trolls. I know that dead air is when nothing is heard, but if it's dead air for like 2 seconds and someone starts complaining about the dead air, I think that that's not called for. I think that's uncalled for. You know what I mean? It's like dead air for 2 seconds and someone's going, what's all this dead air? I mean, my God, you must have some serious ADHD going on. If you have 2 seconds of dead air and you're already What's with all the dead air, man? That's all I'm saying. Roxanne Epstein, how did Hulk Hogan croak? I don't know. Maybe someone in the chat will fill us in on that. Roxanne Epstein says, audio good here. Maybe restart. Yeah, maybe you should just restart, Wes. Actually, I think Wes figured it out. MJ Daniel says, didn't Maxwell bring many of those girls from Eastern Europe? This whole Epstein thing is stinking more and more of a KGB blackmail operation. Could be a whole bunch of honeypots. Is that what they call it? Honeypots? A honeypot? Won't you come on down, hey, honeypot? Like to see you around, honeypot. Come on down and sit on my lap. Oh, honeypot. Roxanne Epstein says MJ Daniels and all over the country, especially in Florida. Michael Andrews says 222. This might work. Apparently, it didn't work. See, I think this might be a super sticker instead of a super chat. Maybe, I don't know. I think so because it didn't. I'm still seeing 0 for 5. But you know what? You still get a yippee. Yippee, Michael Andrews. Thank you so much. 222. That is that number 222. It's biblical and it means. No, I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't know what that means. But thank you so much, Michael. Another yippee. Yippee. I appreciate you. Thanks so much for helping the show out. It does help the show. Help us stay on the not on the air, but on the internet. That's what that does. Mr. Bob Newell, is I a troll? Mr. Bob Newell, yeah, maybe, sometimes, sorta, kinda. Yeah. We might put you in the troll category. We might put you over there sometimes. Or do you want to be a troll? Do you want to be in the running to be like the, what was it? The resident troll? We got Joel the Troll, a.k.a. Mike H. And we got WW, a.k.a. Whatever other names that go to that one. And then and Mr. Bob Newell. I think it's a pretty strong group there of candidates. I'll take it into consideration. Alvin Stu says Roxanne Epstein, he, meaning Hulk Hogan, died from becoming a maggot. And the maggots ate into his brain. Hello? Is there anybody out there? Sandy Fold says, your attitude sucks. Wait a minute. My attitude sucks? Ever since you got back from your daughter's wedding, you need to stop yelling at your chat's viewers. Well, Sandy, I beg to differ. I think I've always yelled at my chat's viewers since day one. Especially certain someones. You can go back and look at the old footage, the old go back to any just about any old live stream that's on my playlist there, and you'll probably see at some point during that I will probably yell at someone. If it's not Wes, there's a handful of folks that I've yelled at and screamed at and cussed at. And sometimes deservedly and sometimes not deservedly. So, Sandy, I beg to differ with you on that one there. Josh says Wes is a provocateur. Mike is a troll. All right. I think we might be mincing words at this point. Mega Man, what is the opposite of a troll? Opposite of a troll is a... I don't know. Sycophant? Would it be a sycophant? Maybe? I don't know. You tell me, you guys. What do you guys think? Jolie says, I guess that's not teal. Oh, see there? It looks teal. See, I kind of screwed up. I did not mean to do that again, guys. That was total accident. I did not mean to do that with the teal thing. I thought I pushed the any color button. Nick Rich says, if you don't know if you're a troll and you act like a troll, you might be a troll. You just might be a troll. Michael McAndrews, member for 16 months. 16 months went sort of fast. Michael McAndrews, yippee on being a member for 16 months. I appreciate you. Michael, probably close to being pretty much one of the original members, or at least after I became, monetized, and then I could do memberships. Michael McAndrews is one of the first. So thank you so much for being there, Michael. I appreciate you. Brooklyn SKU says, Sandy's coming for you. Yeah. Roxanne, you jacked up the goal set at like $100. No, it's just, the goal is like how many is of like how many, not it's not like a money thing. It's not a money value. It's it's like how many actual donations are made or whatever. And I set it at 5. Like I always do. I always set it at 5. But the thing is, when you can say like what goes towards the goal, and they have all these different money values, like so if you put it on any, like I did, like I didn't do, but like what I usually do, I just put it on any. That means you can donate anything. 99 cents will work, I think, whatever the lowest one is. But apparently, I put it at a certain value. I don't think it's I don't even know. Maybe it is. You know what? Can I go back into it? Oh wait. Now I could remove it. 5 teal. Yeah, it is. It's set at 5 teal. So whatever teal is, I can remove the goal and restart it. Maybe should I do that? I'll let's see if anyone says I should do that. Jolie, what do you think? Jolie and Aaron, do you think should I go ahead and remove this goal and just start over and do it like I usually do it? I think I'm going to do that. It seems to be causing problems. So let me go ahead. I'm going to remove it. I'm going to remove the goal. Nick says restart. So I'm going to. I think I'm going to do it. Just see if there's any more feedback on that. No more feedback. There is a delay in getting feedback from people. By feedback, I mean response. Yes, new goal. All right, so that's 2. That's enough for me. Okay, I'm going to remove this one. Yeah, I'm going to remove it. Trying to remove it. I pushed remove. And okay, so it was disabled. It says. Now I'm going to start another one. I'll start over. Here's what I usually do. I think because I was in a hurry. Okay, so yeah, so you can select all the colors. Oh, teal was $5, not $2. So anyhow, but if I push all the colors, then you can go. I'll show all the colors, and then so that's that. Alrighty. So we'll see how that goes. All right, so there was that. And I'm trying to go back to where I was at. Yeah, Jolie says happy truck-iversary, Michael. Absolutely happy truck-iversary. Happy truck-iversary. Happy truck-iversary. Happy truck-iversary to you, Michael McAndrews. Robert Perez says Hulk Hogan was a Trump supporter, so eat shit in hell, deplorable piece of crap. Wow. Robert Perez coming in hot. Hot and heavy. Mr. Bob Newell, 71? Hulk Hogan was only 71? Wow. That doesn't seem right. I think really, and Brooklyn says 71. Wow, I thought he was older than that. So he's only, what, like 6 or 7 years older than me? I thought he was like way older than that. I thought he was like 80. Wow. Michael McAndrews, $4.99. Let's see if this works. Thank you, Michael. Unfortunately, it works in my book. So as far as I'm concerned, it worked. Yippee to Michael McAndrews. As far as I'm concerned, that's like what 3? We had one from or did West? Yeah, West did one. I mean WW did one, and I think Michael's on 2 now. So I'm going to say we're at 3. All right. So even if it doesn't say we made the goal, I think we're 3/5 of the way there. Nick Rich, I went to the whatever button, and it starts at $5. Not enough on the gift card to find out. Yeah, don't put yourself out, man. Don't. If you guys, like we always say, everyone always says, these donations are greatly appreciated, but they're never required. Aaron says, I think it has to be 5. Yeah, so I did it. I readjusted it. Jolie says, I guess still starts at 5. Just looks straight green to me and my screen. Maybe I need to adjust the color of my computer. MJ Daniel, many pro wrestlers die even younger. Not a healthy profession. AM, yesterday's chat was wild, TJ. We got a little wild yesterday, I guess, apparently. WW, I get steroid shots. 111 is the angel number. Oh. That was me being like an angel chorus person or something. I don't know. Yeah, it was crazy how Roxanne Epstein enjoyed your new home. Hey, Roxanne, you have a new home. Congratulations on that one there. Stephanie B2 says Hulk Hogan died of a heart attack. I believe cardiac failure. Wow. Diamond Dog says I sometimes release air for 2 seconds and it smells dead. Does that count as dead air? Why not? Why not? Roxanne Epstein, ADHD can make you very impatient. I know for sure. Just watch me in traffic. And I think that proves to me that I definitely do not have ADHD. Because I am not one of those people that gets upset in traffic. For the most part. Sometimes, okay, I'm a human being. But, I mean, for the most part, it doesn't bother me. Non-useful 2's here. Hey, non-useful. Good to see you. Thanks for coming on into the old chat room, the old driver's lounge, as we like to say. Non-useful 2 says the Missouri Supreme Court ruled Tuesday that the state's counties cannot levy a 3% tax on marijuana products sold at dispensaries in cities or towns. I wonder what their decision, how they made that decision. Just, I don't know. I wonder. That's interesting. Okay, so we got Mr. Balnul, how's the coffee? No, it's not bad. It's not bad. Good morning. I hope you guys are having your favorite beverages right now. PDG 200 LBFB is here. Good to see you. PDG. I'm just going to call you PDG for short, if you don't mind. Thanks for being here, by the way. And yes, we've been talking about Hogan, the Hulkster. Yes. We've been talking about that. We found out he died at age 71, which I thought he was much older. I thought he was like at least 78 or 79 and, pushing 80, but he's apparently only 71. And we just found out he died of a cardiac arrest. From hulking out too much, probably. WW laughing out loud. Michael, Timothy Leary said that it should be mandatory for old folks. What did I miss? Am I on all messages? Did I skip something? What did Timothy Leary say, or what did? Somehow I missed something, and I have it on all messages, so I don't know what you're talking about. that it should be mandatory. David Dog says the opposite of a troll is a mod. Oh, okay. That makes sense. PDG 200 LBFB, Hulk loved the orange dump. Well, we saw him at the Republican National Convention and trying to do the old Hulk double bicep thing, and his biceps were not looking very bicep-y, if I recall. Yeah, Jolie says opposite of trolls are moderators. WW says Laughing Out Loud mods are Nazis. They kill the buzz. Oh, W, get out of here with that. They keep a-holes like you from fucking taking over a chat and driving it over a cliff. Roxanne Epstein's, oh yeah, TJ, you're right. I messed up the word. See, now, I don't even remember what we were talking about. Michael McAndrews, I'm recovering from camping. My wife and I did up in the UP at Tucumán Falls. I love your camping adventures, Michael. I'm envious because I want to go camping, but I haven't gone camping in a long time. Jolie says, WW, nice save. I was getting ready to time you out for a few minutes just for kicks. Mr. Bob Newell, have you ridden the high roller wheel? I have not, but I will, and I'm going to video it or live stream it or video it. Probably video it. I know you guys don't like videos for some reason. You prefer live streams, but there are some things I think you should just make videos about. And you guys should just take it. WW John doesn't believe in nymphs and fairies. I do not. I don't believe in any of that shit. Yes, no. So here I'm just now in the chat where I disabled the old goal. Mr. Abdul, have you ever been examined by a lie detector machine? I have. For certain jobs, there were certain jobs where it's not the kind. I don't think it was the kind like you see in the movies. You know, where they hook you up to thing. But they said I was under a lie detector test thing, and so I don't know. And I passed with flying colors. By the way, Sunny Full says, TJ, you need to apologize to the guys you yelled at yesterday. It's not fair the way you treated them. Oh, Sandy. For one thing, if it was WW and I, this is what we do. Sandy, this is what we do. We yell at each other. And whoever else I yelled at probably deserved it. So I don't know. All right, so here's where I started the new goal. Brooklyn couldn't find the button. Michael says under the monetary button is an option for chat milestones if you have achieved a milestone. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's about how you did your membership milestone. David Dog says 71 in wrestling years is different, like dog years. All right, so here's Michael McAndrews, $5 super sticker. Thank you, Michael. Yippee! Says that should do it. I think it did. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate you for that. MJ Daniel says the evil really ages you from the inside. Look at Steve Bannon. He looks like the heat miser with leprosy. Jolie says, I feel like it's a badge of honor to get yelled at by Trucker John, Sandy Foltz. Only Aaron and I are truly safe. Who's next? I love the anticipation. And I realize sometimes I feel bad about it, and I feel like maybe I overreacted, and but sometimes it's like I said, sometimes it's deserved or deserved. Is it deserved? And sometimes it's undeserved. And I think I have apologized when I felt like an apology was needed, and other times not. So. Brooklyn SJUAK Tricks of the Roo says Sandy's going to deduct money from you. Laura Lee says Hulk made wrestling exciting. My brother had one of those wrestling buddy Buddy's Dolls. Hey, Laura Lee, thanks for being here, by the way. Oh yeah, Hulkamania back in the what was it, like late 70s? Was the first one. There were, I think they did several kind of iterations or would bring them back every now and then. But it was really huge deal. Yeah, Hulkamania. I mean, it even made me watch wrestling, and I've never really been a pro wrestling fan. But there have been a few times where I kind of got into it, and the Hulkamania thing was one of them. In that, I guess it was like mid 70s, late 70s, and then, like I said, they would go away, and then they'd bring it back. They did that a couple times. WW, I'm pretty scatterbrained, and Jolie and I might disagree regarding your road rage. That's different than being like stuck. I was talking about being stuck in traffic, and people get wigged out about that. I don't really get stuck. I don't get mad about being stuck in traffic. What I do get mad at is someone pulls in front of me and brake checks me, and then pulls alongside of me and starts flipping me off and telling me to learn how to drive. And that can set me off. Something like that could set me off. That's a little bit different than just being in traffic and just, something that happens all the time and there's really nothing you can do about it. Roxanne Epstein says, my new home, same old place, just reorganizing my office and getting things ready for Jen up the base on 8 and 9. He's coming the week of my birthday. 2 weeks tomorrow, I pick him up. I'm so excited. Awesome. Hope that works out and you guys have a great time together. Sounds like fun. Sounds like fun, if you know what I mean. Fun. Mr. Balblue, do you have 3 or more tattoos? I don't have any tattoos. Aaron West, I'm drinking plain iced tea. Not my favorite. MJ Daniels says, the way people drive around here makes me really want to lose my shit sometimes. Getting pretty bad. Well, yeah. See, that's different. If there's just assholes that are like, I don't know, cutting you off, or they're passing you on the shoulder, or and they're flipping you off and shit like that. That's different than just being like stuck in traffic. Mad Max, Slava Ukraini, good to see you, Mad Mac. Thanks for coming on in. Coming on in to the driver's lounge. Coming on in. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Oh, thank you. Thank you for being here. I do appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. 007 is here. Good to see 007, Kevin. And now we'll be called the Molster. That's funny, Kevin. Instead of the Hulkster, the Molster. Like he's going to become mulch and worm food. He'll become worm food. Nick Rich with the timestamp. Not timestamp. What do you call it? Time check. 10:01 a.m. in Vegas. So I'm only 8 minutes behind. That's not too bad, is it, guys? Maybe I should sip some coffee and get further behind. Madman. Oh, tune in, turn out, and drop out. Dr. Timothy Leary. Dr. Timothy Leary, yes. A proponent of LSD. Yes. Big proponent of the LSD. Ms. Balnewell says I was going to say something, but I forgot. Well, maybe it'll come back to you. Sometimes that happens. WW says, Timothy Leary, dearie, mandatory drugs for folks in their old age. Back then, he usually was referring to LSD. Yes, as I've mentioned. As I just mentioned. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all, did you hear? I just mentioned it. Mad Matt, Timothy Leary's dead. No. He's out there looking in. Song lyric. Was that the Kinks song or something? I don't know. WWWWWWWWNIJ. Hey, that WW is a real songsmith. WW says saints and elves. John doesn't believe in Santa Claus. I don't. Spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! There's no such thing as Santa Claus. Nick Rich, videos, whether live or not, can be fun and informative. See there? I got one person on my side, at least. William, Mad Max Moody Blues. Oh, that was the Moody Blues. Damon Dog, I'm a Virgo, September 2nd. I believe that would make my daughter a Virgo. And I think my son... Is my son a Libra like me? Man, I got like something going on here in my throat. Kind of right around the cutoff point. I think he might be a Libra. You can see how much I really keep up on that kind of shit. I don't believe in that shit either, really. WW, it's okay, Sandy. We are a couple old drama boys just putting on a show to keep from boredom. Yeah, we got to spice things up a little bit, you know? Call each other names, things of this nature. 007 Kevin is a Gemini. Gemini. Is that the twins one? The twinsies? And are the twins Jim and I? No. Mad Mac William Winner. Love it out loud. Saw Moody Blues 4 times over the years. I was never really into the Moody Blues. I always thought I remember this is take into consideration. This is the high schooler trucker John before I was a trucker. Back then I was just John. But now I'm in high school, probably, I don't know, what am I, junior or maybe sophomore or something. And, well, the song had been out before then, I guess. But I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. I really like that song because it was a good, like, rockin' song, the 70s rock song, right? So I think I bought the album when I was in high school, that whatever album that was on. And it was the only song of the whole fucking album that rocked. At least in my opinion at that time. Maybe it's still my opinion. I don't know. And I was just, and the rest of it just seemed real slow and dreary and not very much like rock to me. And I was like, the only fucking song that you do that rocks is that one song. So I'm not really sure if you really are in a rock and roll band. Moody Blues. Dude, singer, guy. Okay, that was my feeling in 1976 or whatever year that was. 77, 78, I don't know. I'm not sure if my opinion has changed, though, since then. David Dog says, Leary got his wish because you can order shrooms on the internet now. Pretty cheap. Are shrooms considered LSD? I mean, they, you know, or am I just being, you know, a stickler? Broken SJUAK Trixie LaRue says, I did a polygraph. I did a polygraph for a job before there was drug testing. So put that in your pipe and smoke it. Paul Burrows says that politicians are like diapers. They need to be changed for the same reason. Hello! From the Lostine River, Oregon. Hey, Paul Burrows. Good to see you. Butterbum. Hello! William says, Michael M., I like the old Moody's with Mike Pinder. Pinder. I'm just a singer in a rock and roll band. Woo! I like that song. Other than that, I mean, what else did they do? There was a couple other ones that were okay. But I just don't think they were a rock and roll band. Other than that one song. You know, I don't know what you call their music. It doesn't seem like rock to me. So maybe I'm wrong. I know there are many genres. Mr. Abdul, have you seen the balloon show at Planet 13? I didn't even know there was a balloon show at Planet 13. I've never stepped inside Planet 13. I've dropped people off and picked people up from there a few times here and there. WW, I'd be afraid to order drugs through the mail. So scary. It's so scary. Roxanne Epstein says 80s, because I remember Hulk. Well, I think they brought it up. Hulkmania wrestling was fun back when the Rowdy Piper and Andre the Giant. I think. Well, maybe I'm misremembering, but because I think they had it. I think, or at least Hulk Hogan was really popular in the 70s, and then it kind of died out. And then I think they brought him back, maybe in the 80s. I don't know, but you guys would know more than I would, because I'm not an aficionado on pro wrestling by any stretch of the imagination. Michael Andrew says on the old star chart I was a Leo. On any other star chart I've ever been, I'm a Virgo, September 19th. Oh, they changed it up on you. Was it life altering? Mr. Balboa, is wrestling real or fake? It's fake as fuck, dude. It's fake as fuck. It's fake as fuck. Pro wrestling is fake as fuck. Nick Rich, Olympic. Well, I'm not talking about Olympic wrestling. I'm talking about pro wrestling. I'm talking about WWE, WWF, WW up my ass. I don't know. Jolie, Libras rule. That's right. Libras rule. Michael McAndrews, high school wrestling is not fake. No, I'm not talking about. I'm talking about professional wrestling. Guys. Talking about pro wrestling. Roxanne Epstein, Michael McAndrews, I'm right in the middle of Leo. I think you are a Virgo, but we might ask Sage. She'll probably know. I'm not really into that shit, guys. I'm not into that shit. Damon Dog, just TV wrestling is fake. No, it's pro wrestling is fake. It's all choreographed performance, yes, but it's pro wrestling. Jolie says, yay, Mike H is here. Oh, I didn't see Mike H. Somehow I skipped. Oh, there's Mike H. Sometimes Mike H just kind of slips in through the cracks there. Just sort of slithers in, Hi, Mike H. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Mike H says that's real fake. That's funny. That I just got the little joke. Roxanne Epstein, my brother used to wrestle in high school. He was awesome. That's real. That's real wrestling. Okay. WWE, I just got booted again. Did you? Because I not here. Because I see you. I see you in the chat. Roxanne Epstein smashing the chair on them used to crack me up. You guys do know that I was in a pro wrestling commercial, right? You guys do know that, right? I think I have it in one of my videos. I was in a pro wrestling commercial, and I'm only in there for like a fraction of a second, but it was long enough that people would recognize me on the street, which I found that to be amazing because I'm literally in it for, it's got to be less than a second, no more than a second. And I was actually working for a car lot, car dealership. I was a salesman, and I would be trying to sell cars, and they would go, "Wait a minute, weren't you on that wrestling commercial?" And I was like, "Yeah." And I was like stunned because they didn't even recognize me because I was literally in that for like it could not have been more than a second. Just think if it had been like a whole second, I'd be riding high right now. Julie, let the deletions begin. Brooklyn, SKU, Trickle says, troll alert. What a tiny brain to make up a name like my cat. That's Joel the Troll, by the way. Aaron West, I believe in Santa. Okay, you do you. You do you, boo. WW, Timothy Leary's Dead is a famous line from the song Legend of the Mind by the Moody Blues, which reflects on the life and influence of Timothy Leary. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've heard it. I was probably like, this is not rock. Nick Rich, Epstein's ghost haunts Chump even when he's awake. WW, the albums are mind-blowing on the headphones and stereo. Album Soup, I don't believe in ghosts, but I'm still scared of them. Aaron West, my parents love the Moody Blues. Moody Blues have lots and lots of fans. Apparently, I'm not one of them. No, there's a few of their songs that they're more well-known ones. I think are okay. I just think that they misrepresent themselves when they say that they're when the lead singer says I'm a singer in a rock and roll band. I don't think you're really in a rock and roll band. I don't know what that is, but it ain't rock and roll for the most part. Knights in White Satin, yeah, that's a good one. But it ain't. Is that rock and roll? I don't know. WW, Best Moody Blues, Knights in White Satin, Go Now, Go Now, Go Now. That's a good one. Tuesday afternoon. Yeah, I remember that one. And Question, I don't know that one. Their music blends rock with orchestral elements, showcasing their unique sound and lyrical depth. See, WW, you're not being deleted. You're not being. I can see that. I saw that. David Dog, my mom used to say, when you stop believing in Santa, you stop getting presents from him. And which is probably true. I don't think I've gotten a present from him since I was 6, maybe. I don't know. Mad Max says from Seventh Sojourn came out in 1972. That album is more for Moody Blues fans. I'm Just a Singer was the highest tempo song of the album. Absolutely, it was. So it came out in 1972. I don't think I got that album until years later. Probably about 1976 or 1977 when I got it. But I'd always heard that song. I'm Just a Singer in a rock and roll band. And I thought, hey, I'm gonna get the album. Blah, 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 blah. Aaron West, Knights in White Satin. Yeah, that's probably. Whoops. What have I done? Oh. Whatever I did, I can see the leaderboard. It's got Michael McAndrews #1. It looks like, is that Nick Rich #2? WW #3, Jolie #4, William #5, Brooklyn 6, Big Dog 7, Sandy Folds there at #8. AM there at 9, and #10 is non-useful. Okay, cool. I didn't know that I could do that. I don't even know how I did that, by the way. I don't know how I did it. I don't know. I don't know what I did. Now I'm trying to go back to where I left off here. WW orchestral rock, not much roll, if that implies swing. Mark Lunga, what about their early hit "Go Now"? It was a cover R&B ballad. Go now, go now. Yeah, I remember that song. That's a good one. Yeah. WW says backbeat 2s and 4s make rock. That is the only common element linking rock music. Well, Burroughs Tuesday Afternoon is good. Like I said, they've got a handful of some good songs, but if you go as far as deep dives are concerned, to me, that was just music to just get high on. If you're high or if you're tripping on something and you can just kick back, then that would be good music, I guess. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. I just felt a little misled, though. That's all I'm saying. And also, you got to remember that's the 1977 Trucker John. Ben Beck says, yeah, the Moody Blues only had 18 platinum and gold records. Yeah, they suck. I don't believe I ever said that they suck. Did I say that they sucked? I said they're not a rock and roll band, and that they, I felt misled. I never said they sucked. I just said they sort of misrepresented who they were with that song in my 1977 mentality. Many folks think that you can't have a rock waltz. WW says Ringo Starr said that all swing is just a fast waltz. Well, good for Ringo, who just had his 85th birthday or 90th birthday or some such shit. I think 85 maybe. Kimchi's here. It says she says, "Hey, beautiful people. Say TJ, beautiful mistress Erin. Hello, Kimchi, the goddess. Kimchi, thanks for being here. I do appreciate you. I do appreciate you. Coming on and hanging out with us as we really get down to the nitty gritty of whether or not the Moody Blues are actually a rock and roll band. Because inquiring minds want to know. Mad Mac, aha, they call it scripted outcomes for the fake as hell wrestling. Yeah, it's all scripted and choreographed and all that kind of shit. Which is fine. I mean, if that's as long as, they don't try to present themselves as being real. Which I don't think they really do. I mean, I think everyone, at least nowadays, I think they pretty much own up to the fact that it's just purely entertainment. Tim Farrell's there. Tim, good to see you. The Farrell one. Tim Farrell says, funny, Ozzy, the Prince of Darkness, he's got a better chance of being in heaven than Hulk Hogan. I hope Ozzy body slams him if he gets the chance. I was just watching another Ozzy video of his last performance at that Farewell concert, and man, it kind of chokes you up a little bit. And especially knowing that he just died a couple weeks later, David Dog, like number 45. Yes, I just remembered. Yeah, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, get us out in the algorithm. Mike H says, hey, Trucker John. Hey, Mike H. I think good to see you. I think. Paul Burrows, I work very hard so my dog can have nice things. That courage time check 20 past the hour. I'm only 10 minutes behind. I'm only 10 minutes behind you guys. Do you guys remember what you said 10 minutes ago? Well, I'm going to remind you right now. Here's what Josh says. How about Blues Image? They were a one-hit wonder with Ride, Captain, Ride. Ride, Captain, Ride. Was it Upon Your Mystery Ship or something like that? David Dog, was the wrestling commercial real or fake? Well, it was a real commercial. That's for sure. It had the guy, the big guy, was it Triple H or something? The guy had a kind of red and black outfit with a Kind of like a hockey mask, but it was red and black. You know, that big dude. He's about freaking almost 7 feet tall. It was during a World Series. It played during the World Series in 2001, I think it was. Was it the World Series? Yeah. Was that what it was? Or was it just a baseball? I think it was World Series in 2001. I think was when it played. I think that's the only time it played was because they were doing a promo. It was like a promo for their WWE something going on, and so they just ran it during the World Series. Kimchi, you can wrestle me anytime, TJ. Show you my moves. See my moves? And in this corner, the goddess Kimchi. WWE says, I was in a commercial promoting a show that I was in. It was embarrassing how many people saw it. Really? Kimchi says, hugs Josh. Easy to flirt when you're 1,000 miles apart. 1,000 miles. 007 Kevin, Troll Slayer, says, Trucker John, wrestling equals, I'm going to truck your ass, laughing out loud. Jolie says, yes, 007 Kevin, Troll Slayer, I'm going to get some parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. That was from a song, too, I think. The Yardbirds or something like that. I don't know. Mad Max should have told those people that recognized you that they probably saw you in one of your famous porno films and see their reactions. WW, how am I riding? I'm riding high. Life's great. Life's grand. Okay. Paul Burrows, last time I was in a wrestling match, we had 2 daughters. Brooklyn SKU, aka Tricks of the Rue, says we haven't talked about baseball in a while. Yeah. Not really. Roxanne Epstein says, Kimchi, they might end up on your doorstep like Gin Up the Bass for his 3rd trip from Portland to Florida. Only 2 weeks left till I pick him up. That's funny. Kimchi agreed. TJ, it is fake slow blues. About the Moody Blues? I'm not trying to bash the Moody Blues. Like I said, there's a handful of good songs, and I like their most popular stuff. You know, it's just that I never got into where I just wanted to go see their concerts and shit. You know. WW, anybody remember Iron Butterfly? In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, baby. Yeah, it was like a 9-minute song. It was very rare. It got a lot of airplay. It's one of those songs like Hey Jude and In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida and maybe a couple others that were, you know, longer than the usual 3-minute pop song. And of course, who wouldn't remember that unless you're 2? Or Tommy James, Crimson and Clover, both psychedelic with crazy stereo effects. Crimson and Clover, that's a great song, a great cover, I think, by Joan Jett. Was it Joan Jett? Somebody did a cover of it, and I think I like the cover better. WW, listen on headphones when you're a little high, or even when you're a lot high. And I think even when if you're doing psychedelics, yeah, do it then, man. Nick Rich topic: how's the Vegas economy paying the bills? The Vegas economy, I don't know, but as far as the Strip is concerned, I believe they are down quite significantly. their income, the revenue. I think the revenues along the strip are down like 20% or something. .007 Kevin says, Jolie, the song of Moody Blues I liked is I Know You're Out There Somewhere. Roxanne Epstein, dang, you didn't play the Santa card as a kid. Wow, I still get presents from Santa and I love them. Easter Bunny, too. My mom loves the holidays, so I just play along. Tim Frill says, I'm late to the discussion, but watch the Moody Blues live. I saw them, and Justin Hayward is a phenomenal rock guitarist. Check it out, John. Like I said, I'm not saying they're not good. I'm not saying they're not talented. I was just giving you my 1977-ish mentality. I was stepping back in time. That's all. That's all I was doing. Mad Matt, Moody Blues was awesome music when in the mountains around nature. Michael McAndrew says, I guess we learn as kids how to play along with our parents when they tell us Santa is coming down the chimney. Roxanne Epstein, Kimchi, Virginia is my hometown, Hampton Roads, Virginia Beach. Where are you, generally speaking? I got family there still. As possible, Jen and I show up. I need more. I need more, sir. Kimchi, hello, my subjects. 007 Kevin bows to Kimchi. Yes, as we all should. Bow to the goddess Kimchi. Tom Bynes is here. Hey, Tom, good to see you. How's the truck running? Or the vehicle that you got? I hope it's running okay. I hope you fix that radiator problem. Replace that radiator. Kimchi, I'll meet you at the beach. Need an excuse. Woke Mike. Rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. Well, hello, Woke Mike. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the old driver's lounge. Yes, rest in peace, Ozzy Osbourne. We talked about that quite a little more extensively yesterday. About Ozzy. And, sad to hear of his passing and everything. Mike H., I'm peaceful, TJ. Okay. Good to hear it. Glad to hear it. Kimchi says, Kevin, can you keep me in my lifestyle to which I have become accustomed? If you could be my slave, garden needs work. Alvin Stu, Kane, yes, Kane, yes, Alvin. But I think he had different names, Kane, or didn't he? Or he did different personas a couple times. He might have been Triple H at one time. I don't know. But yeah, I believe it was Kane. You are correct, sir. Bob Burrow's Foghat. Yes, Foghat. I'll have you know, Foghat, one of my all-time favorite groups, especially in 1976. Probably my favorite group. They were probably my favorite group, rock band, until Van Halen came along. I mean, prior to Van Halen, my favorite rock groups, well, of course, the Beatles, number one. Creedence Clearwater Revival, favorite rock group, and then Foghat, Aerosmith, favorite rock groups. I mean, the 70s rock, the 70s Aerosmith is the best Aerosmith by far of any of their iterations. I don't really like their later stuff nearly as much as the 70s Aerosmith. Thin Lizzy. So those were my groups prior to Van Halen. It was Thin Lizzy, Foghat, Aerosmith, Creedence, the Beatles, and then Van Halen came along, and it was like, fuck all you guys. This is Van Halen. They're number one, man. Number one in my heart. In my heart of hearts. Tom Bias, I'd say Moody Blues is a rock and roll band. Okay, all right. Marsha's here. Hey, Marsha, good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the old Driver's Lounge. We got a lot of music conversation, convo, a lot of music convo going on today. So thanks for joining us, Marsha. As always, good to see you in the old Driver's Lounge. Kimchi Scarborough Fair. Was that Simon and Garfunkel? Is that rock and roll? Is Simon and Garfunkel? Are they rock and roll? They're probably in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I know there's lots of genres, so I guess they deserve to be in there. Tom Bias, Simon and Garfunkel. Garfunkel. Mike McAndrews, I saw Deep Purple one time, and my ears have not recovered. They have not yet recovered. Apparently, they play their music very loud, or you are very close to the stage for the amps. Yes, Joan Jett did the cover, I believe, of Crimson and Clover. That's a great song, and I love her version. Mike H., I am Joel, but I am not a troll, TJ. Well, Mike, you can live in denial all you want. No, Mike H., I'm giving you a hard time. You know that. Roxanne Epstein says, Gin up the bass, always talking baseball. I think it's this Epstein fuckery that's taken center stage. He's taking a break today, chilling outside, enjoying his neighborhood Giants play tonight, I think. Mr. Rob Newell, is Davy Lopez still playing? He's not. Not the Davy Lopez that I know of anyhow. There might be another Davy Lopez. Mr. Rob Newell, have you returned to the strip club to use the toilet? I have not. I have not even been back to work yet since I left Saturday to go to my daughter's wedding. I didn't go to work last night. I will go to work today, though. At least that's the plan. Mad Max says, back in the 70s, they played longer songs on FM radio, yeah, but AM radio was for the pop and teeny bopper. But In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida was being played. My point is, songs like Hey Jude and In-A-Gadda-Da-Vida, and there was a couple others that were really long. The thing that made them sort of exceptional or noteworthy is they were being played on AM radio. That's the thing that makes it so noteworthy. Anyhow, to continue, Mad Max says, AM was for pop and teeny bopper hit songs of 2 to 3 minute songs. I used to love underground FM radio. And FM radio really didn't really come about, at least in my experience, until probably, the 70s, of course. I think more like around, the mid-70s, you started getting more and more FM rock stations playing rock music. But prior to that, in the late 60s, they were playing the Stones and Hendrix right along with, one of the great things about Top 40 radio is you could hear James Brown and the Supremes and then the Stones and the Beatles. It was all really cool. I thought it was a really cool mixture, a really cool mix. Anyhow. Michael Andrews, 2 great questions. Okay. Jolie says, is that not you at Mike H? I could have sworn that was you. Paul Burrows says, Dee Snider and Lita Ford will be at the Clearwater River Casino, not going. Why? Dee Snider and Lita Ford are both pretty awesome, I think. The way you say not going all caps, it sounds like you don't want to go because you don't like them. Now, if you're not going because you can't make it, because you can't afford it, or you can't take time off. That's fine, but you're going all caps on me here. It makes me think you don't like those two people. I think Dee Snider is pretty cool, and I think Lita Ford is awesome. And she did a duet with Ozzy. And now she will not be able to do that anymore until she goes to heaven herself. And they can do that duet together. Josh says, I'm in the background of an ad for the show I'm playing at Giva Theater in Rochester. Is it Giva or Jiva? Or Java? Town Bias, there's been 2 Mike H's. One of them is a troll. Has there been 2? There can only be 1. Michael McAndrews says, I have to print out a hook for my washer lid again. Everyone breaks the dang thing, but all I have to do is 3D plastic print another one. Cool. That's cool. .3D printers. I don't have one, but apparently they're cool. 007 Kevin says Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, was a cover before it was punk. It was a cover? That wasn't a Cyndi Lauper original? Mr. Bob Newell, I think he meant Ozzy, not Izzy. Then Hulk, who's next? Well, we already did the 3. The third one, or the one that was before Hulk Hogan, was the guy who played Theo on the Bill Cosby Show, or Cosby Show, or whatever the fuck his show was called. I think was it just Cosby? I don't know. Whatever. I didn't like him then. I don't like him now. I can't say I didn't like Bill Cosby then, but I wasn't really into that show. Because I had no idea the Cosby was a sexual predator at that time. So I thought he was good. I thought he was cool. But I liked him back. I did like him back from the I Spy days and some of his earlier shows that he had, and as a stand-up. And I remember we had a couple of his records, his comedy records. And I had no problem with Bill Cosby all the way until we heard about what he did, like 10 years ago now or whatever. Robert Perpone. I have not seen Robert Perpone in such a long time. Where have you been, Robert Perpone? Where have you been, Robert Perpone? Do not stay away for so long, because I love saying your name so much, Robert Perpone. Anyhow, Robert Pierpoint says, can we celebrate Hulk Hogan dying? One less maggot, just saying. Well, we've kind of already pissed on his grave a little bit already today. I mean, if you want to go ahead, have at it. Have at it. Tom Bias says, still waiting for the truck engine to be replaced. The Toyota Avalon has not overheated since I bought it. I'll have my mechanic look at it Monday. It'll have to be replaced. It's all good. All right. Yeah, so you got the truck engine thing going on, and then the Avalon. So now you got 2 vehicles, I guess, apparently. And the Avalon is not overheating, even though it will have to be, I think you say it has to be replaced. I think you're talking about the radiator has to be replaced, even though it's not overheating. Maybe it's just leaking. You got a leak, and you got to keep an eye on it, I guess. Kimchi says Little Feat was actually amazing. I hate to admit it. I like Little Feat. I mean, this is not my thing. I mean, too much. I mean, they had a couple of hits, I guess, and they were cool. But I'm just saying, I don't know. I'm not putting them up there with Thin Lizzy and Aerosmith, okay? I'm not going to do that. Michael McAndrews, maybe someone is killing our famous people to distract us from something. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, Trump's like, start killing Hulk Hogan. Yes, let's do this. Let's get her done. Anything to get the heat off of me. Somebody's the radiator. The radiator on the Avalon's got to be replaced. And I don't know why I went in that kind of weird voice. So Roxanne Epstein, Little Feat, yes. Allman Brothers Band 2. Yeah, they're all right. They're all right. Kind of a country rock, and all that shit. But, they've got some. And now you guys are going to tell me all the great songs they had. And I'm not saying they didn't have great songs or good songs. It's just not my thing, man. You guys know what my thing is. If I say my favorite bands are Aerosmith and Thin Lizzy and Foghat and Van Halen, then you know my thing, man. Roxanne Epstein, Eagles. Yes, Eagles, great songs. A whole fucking list as long as my arm of great songs. But they're not my thing either, for the most part. I'll sing along to fucking Standing on a Corner in Winslow, Arizona all day long. I'll sing that song, but that doesn't mean that's still not my thing. And Don Henley's an asshole. Mad Mac Foghat's only hit was a cover of a Cold Blood song called I Just Want to Make Love to You. What else did Foghat play? Oh my god, Fool for the City? You never heard of Fool for the fucking City? You never heard of Lonesome Dave? Fool for the city. I'm just a fool for the city. And also, who cares about hits? You guys are giving me all the deep dives into Moody Blues. Now all of a sudden I got to give you hits of Foghat. I don't give a fuck about hits. I give a fuck about what I like. I had every single one of Foghat's albums at one time. Like a McAndrews, wow, I haven't heard Foghat in a long. Well, go listen to them. They're an awesome fucking rock band. If you like rock music, I'm talking about rock music. I'm not talking about this fucking whimsical orchestral fucking bullshit it's good when you're tripping out on shrooms. I'm talking about rock fucking music. Get you some Foghat in you now. Stat. William, Crimson and Clover originally done by Tommy Jones. And I said that Joan Jett did the cover, and she did a better job. I'm just calling it right now. I'm just putting it out there right now. Joan Jett did a better job than Tommy James. WW Jolie says that you are more of a troll than I am, Mike. WW, look at WW. They're trying to stir up some shit. Paul Burrows, I'm your captain. Kimchi, Marshall Tucker Band was Virginia Beach, and I was impressed, but Three Dog Night rocked my freaking socks off. Childhood memory. Yeah, I always loved Three Dog Night as a kid. I think there's only one dog left at this point, unfortunately. One original dog. Well, we get old and we die, so it happens. But Marshall Tucker Band, yeah, they've had some good songs, but it's that country rock thing, and it's okay. It's okay. It's not horrible. Gravel, Zeppelin, yes, Zeppelin, definitely Zeppelin, one of my all-time favorites. Ron, by the way, hi Ron, good to see you. Thanks for joining us in the lounge. Ron Gravel, Nazareth, Hair of the Dog. Nazareth, kind of a one-hit wonder. Hair of the Dog, Son of a Bitch, that whole thing. Great song. I had that. I probably had that on cassette. I'm not sure if I had the album or the cassette, but I had it and played the hell out of it. Great song. Great. That was a great album. They had two hits off of that. Love Hurts. Love Hurts. And now you're messing with a son of a bitch. I remember being in the car with my mom. My mom and dad were in the front. I was in the back seat. I'm probably high school age. Whenever when it came out, 16, 17, whatever. And we're on Highway 1 or on Highway 18, I believe, or maybe 138, heading westbound towards the Antelope Valley, in the desert, wherever we're listening to the radio, and that song, Nazareth song, comes on, and so that main chorus hits in where the guy's like, "Now you're messing with a son of a bitch." And then it kind of keeps repeating that, and I'm like, turn that up. That's my favorite song, or whatever I said. And so I think my dad cranked it up or whatever. We're listening to it, and then my mom, when she heard that son of a bitch, it's so funny. She just kind of goes like, and she looks over at my dad, who's driving, and she's like, the things they say on the radio these days. I just can't believe it that they allow that on the radio. It was so funny. It was hilarious. It's that memory. It's a kind of a sweet memory of my mom and how she would react to things. And so anyhow, that was fun. Kimchi says Zeppelin and the Beatles are overplayed. I am pretty much done. Well, whatever. I think Zeppelin is timeless, pretty much for me. Anyhow, I mean, and by what I mean by timeless is that for me, now for you it's different, for everyone's different, but for me, when I hear Zeppelin, for the most part, most of their songs, they still, to me, just sound just as fresh as the first day I heard them. But Kimchi is kind of burnt out on them, apparently. And I think the Beatles, for me, they hold up. I mean, I know it's music, most of their music, from the 60s rock, and they went through kind of reinventions in the 10 years that they were around. They went from the early covers of American, soul music or whatever, and then they did that. They sort of just started doing more experimental rock, and they progressed as they went along. But I still love the Beatles and Zeppelin. I mean, they're right up there. Beatles, I still think the Beatles are the greatest rock and roll band in the history of rock and roll. But I think I'm not sure where I could do rankings. I'm not sure if I'm really into rankings because my favorite band of all time is Van Halen, but I do think that the Beatles are the greatest of all time. So, and I would put Zeppelin probably in my top 5. Right up there with Thin Lizzy and Foghat. What are you gonna do? You like what you like, right? Everyone likes what they like. Mad Mac, those songs were cut down. They would cut out the drum solo and play Inagata Vida on AM. Same with Jude. Hey Jude, they shortened songs a lot on AM, but a lot of times they didn't, depending on the station. Roxanne, I love James Brown. Got to see him live at Bonnaroo. .007, are there any original members left? Kimchi says 20 years ago when it was Martha and the Vandells, now it's the 80s bands getting older. It's not easy emotionally or physically. Paul Burles, I have enough Twisted Sisters. Roxanne Epstein, I like the Stones more than the Beatles. Yeah, I said it. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. You're wrong, but no. I mean, you're not wrong to like. You can like whoever you like, but the Beatles are better. It's just like for me, Van Halen is my favorite all-time band, but the Beatles are the greatest of all time. I can distinguish that. Differentiate that. Marsha says also sweet Kimchi. I had a black cat named Trevor McGee. He was 19 years old when he crossed the Rainbow Bridge. How old is your Lucy? Lucy, Lucy, Lucy. Oh, Lucy. Another ding call just came in. I don't know. I guess I forgot to put my do not disturb thing on there. 007 Kevin says, William, my dad says the lead is still alive and one guitarist. I think we're talking about Three Dog Night. But as far as like the main three dudes, maybe they have, well, I don't know. Because there were sort of like three main dudes that just sang. I don't remember them even playing instruments. But they might have had a guitarist who was in their band since, way back when. But as far as like the three main singer dudes, I think only one is left. Mr. Abdul, who played Satisfaction better, Stones or Devo? I'm going to have to go with Stones, although the Devo one is pretty cool. I'll give Devo that. They did a pretty cool cover And I like Devo. I'm a Devo fan. But I got to go with the Stones. Doing it better. WW, are you a mod or a rocker? Baby, I'm a rocker. Baby, I'm a rocker. Kimchi Stones, definitely. You could like the Stones better than the Beatles, but the Stones are not better than the Beatles. Brooklyn SJU, aka Trixie LaRue, a lot of YouTube people are saying Ozzy took himself out. Yeah, I think I heard something about that. About if things got so bad, he would do a, what do you call it? Self-suicide, or well, suicide is self, or maybe assisted suicide or something like that. But you know, yeah, that might be the case. I don't know, but I think I've heard that being bandied about. Tom Bias, I love all those groups mentioned. I have them on my playlist. Cool. Williams says, I'm a mocker. WW, who decides what if a fourth famous person dies? Well, then I guess it starts over. I think it just starts over. That's how we do it. Robert Perez, Otis Redding's version of Satisfaction was excellent, I'm sure. Otis Redding, great artist. Great singer from the 60s. Sitting on the dock of the bay and all that, you know. Brooklyn SKUK, poor Malcolm Jamal Warner, what a shame. Yeah, I mean, I haven't heard, other than what you guys said yesterday about him drowning on vacation. Sounds pretty sad. And awful. Michael McAndrew says, when I was in Texas, I loved listening to the Weather Channel play Cajun music. Wow. Who knew? Who knew? You could just watch the Weather Channel and get music. You know, all day long, apparently. Josh says, maybe just flush the radiator and place the thermostat. Toyota normally doesn't have engine issues. The engine was one car, and the radiator or whatever was the other car. I don't know. Alvin Stube, WW, Mick Jagger is next. Don't, hush your mouth, Alvin Stube. Hush your mouth. Mick Jagger's going to live to be 100. All right? All right. WW, Alvin, that is not funny. Yeah, Mick is immortal. I'm with you on that one, W. Roxanne Epstein, you don't dig the slide guitar. I love Aerosmith. I have several CDs. I love Aerosmith, but I think the best Aerosmith is the 70s Aerosmith. I'll take all the 70s albums of Aerosmith over anything they did later on, any day of the week. Any day of the week. Michael McAndrews, a world will end when Mick Jagger passes. Tom Bias, Tom Petty is way better than Elvis. I love me some Tom Petty, don't get me wrong. I love me some Tom Petty. But Elvis is in a whole class by himself. Let's just put it that way. Let's just put it that way. 007 Kevin Toslayer says, Trucker John, the writer of Girls Just Want to Have Fun was a guy named Tom Hazard. He was a 70s punk singer. Cyndi Lauper in the 80s gave it a dance flair to it. Alrighty then. Well, alrighty then. It's good to know. Thanks for that trivia. Broken SKU, I can't trick the rule. Love Eagles and Fleetwood Mac. I love me some Eagles, and I love Fleetwood Mac. Don't get me wrong, I love them. They're just not really, probably not in my top 10. But I do love the Eagles, and I do love Fleetwood Mac. I think Fleetwood Mac's awesome. actually. Roxanne Epstein Foghat, is that Smoke on the Water? No, Smoke on the Water is Deep Purple, right? Right, yeah. Kimchi says, my new favorite band, Hellstrom. Hellstrom, they've been around quite a while, actually. But anyhow, my new favorite band, Hellstorm. Lizzie Lizzie is the lead singer, and her brother is I think guitarist. Anyhow, played Ozzy's Fest and opened for Iron Maiden's last show. Don't really like hard rock except Lizzie Hell is my fake girlfriend. Yeah, Lizzie Hell, she's awesome. She's fucking awesome. I love Hellstorm. They're not as good as the Beatles, but I love them. Yeah, Deep Purple is Smoke on the Water was Deep Purple's big song. I don't like death metal. I don't like death metal either. Josh, Foghat was Slow Ride. Yeah, and it was also Fool for the City. And they had a few other songs that got some good radio play, I think. Jolie says, I got to go, Aaron. We just signed my mom up for hospice yesterday. My kids are here to visit. We're saying rallying the troops. Oh, Jolie. Yeah, Jolie. I know it's a tough thing, you know. We did that with my dad and went into hospice care, but it was at home, and it's kind of it's a tough thing. It's tough, but so my thoughts go out to you and your family, and all you can do is just try to just be there and just love your mom and love your family, and be there to I guess help send her on her way. So my love goes out to you, Jolie, and your family. Dan B says, hi, y'all. I know I'm late, but hope all is well, TJ. Hope you had a nice time. I had a great time at my daughter's wedding. A great time. Thank you for asking. Tom Bice says, Foghat, Slow Ride, Deep Purple, Smoke on the Water. Yeah. FJ Daniels saw Foghat 96 with the original lineup at a club with only around 400 people, and it was a great show. Yeah, Jolie says, love you all. And she says, except Mike. Andrew Petrie, I'm wearing my Black Sabbath shirt all week. There you go, Andrew Petrie. Thanks for being here, by the way, Andrew. Thanks for dropping on in. Great way to, a little tribute to Ozzy. Michael Andrews, all the best wishes for you. Yeah. David Dog, Roxanne, I love rock and roll. Put another dime in the jukebox, baby. Andrew Daniel, Hair of the Dog is a good album. Yeah, it's a great album. I had that album. Roxanne Epstein, Who Got You? Thanks, y'all. Is familiar to Foghat. They toured a lot. I love me some ZZ Top. I love ZZ Top. I do love me some ZZ Top. Andrew Petrie says, speaking of music, I got to go get my banjo from the pawn shop. Yeah, get that bad boy back. Start doing some picking. Banjo picking. Kimchi, my 83-year-old chosen mammy loves Nazareth. There you go. Mammy's rocking. Andrew Petrie, I talked to Jimmy Page on the phone. Rockline. Wow. Jimmy Page, a guitar god. Tom Bias, I like Roy Orbison's version of Love Hurts. I don't believe I've ever heard that version. I don't think I've ever heard that, Tom. And I do find it hard to believe that it would be better than Nazareth, but so it must be really good. Roy Orbison was kind of a, very unique sound, and it could really hit those high notes like nobody's business. And West got to run to an appointment, back as soon as I can. Hey, if you guys got things to do, like, for sure, just go do your things, man. Roxanne Epstein says Robert Plant has a great voice. I get him and Robert Palmer mixed up when I talk about them, but I love them both. Alvin Stoop, Godsmack is my favorite band. Godsmack fucking is awesome. They're an awesome band. I love me some Godsmack. Ron Gravel, I prefer the Stones. Yeah, you can prefer the Stones. I have no problem with that. The Stones are one of the greatest bands of all times. Notice I said one of the greatest bands. And the Beatles are the greatest. So that's the distinction, at least for me. But yeah, Stones, they're awesome. Awesome band. Great fucking, catalog of music. Great catalog. William, my favorite band is King Crimson. I had the, it might have even been an 8-track, I don't know, of whatever album 21st Century Schizoid Band is on. And I played the fuck out of basically that song. 21st Century Schizoid Band that's a fucking tour de force. Keith Politzer. Keith says, I love all sorts of music, but still a Clash fan. The Clash, awesome. These are awesome bands, you guys. These are awesome bands you guys are bringing up. Roxanne, you're being a music snob, TJ, just a little bit. Am I? Maybe for sort of criticizing the Moody Blues a little bit, but every other band you guys have mentioned, I really haven't criticized. And I think I've said I like or love almost all these bands you guys are bringing up. Dan B, well, don't forget Queen. Queen, of course, Queen's probably top 10 for me. Rush, Foreigner, AC/DC, Def Leppard, Van Halen. There are others, but we knew, but the new stuff stinks. You can't beat the old rock. Yeah, I mean, I haven't listened to, well, I do listen to some new stuff, but there's some new stuff that's out there that's pretty good, but I mean, yeah, this is quite the era with those bands there. Mad Mac, Jimmy Page hated Eddie Van Halen. He says something to the effect of, I don't need to see guitar gymnastics of Eddie Van Halen. He even said EVH had no soul for guitar music. Well, he's entitled to his opinion, I suppose. Roxanne Epstein, I love the Police. Yeah, I love the Police too. As a 3-man group, they F-Rock. Stuart Copeland is one of my favorite drummers. Yeah, great band. I had the first few Police albums, David Dog, Boston Brian just went live. Trucker John Raid. Oh, yeah. That's what happens when I go late, when I start late. Because I try to do 2 hours, and then even though I'm just now coming up on 2 hours, then that makes me go over when other shows start. But, we're going to be ending the show here. It's about 2 hours, and my iPad is just about ready to go dead. Anyhow, so Tom Bias got to eat lunch. Everyone's got to go do their things. Thanks, guys, for being here. We'll go ahead and end the show up pretty quick here. It's been a pretty interesting conversation about music. I like talking about some music, and you guys bring up a lot of great bands, and it's fun to kind of reminisce about these bands. And MJ Daniels, 70s Aerosmith is the best. Yeah, that's when they fucking tore it up. They just fucking tore it up, man. I love me some the 70s era of Aerosmith. Robert Perez, speaking of tunes, when are you going to whip out your big 10-inch record on the band that plays the blues? Speaking of Aerosmith, Bob Newell, Bug Cherry is the greatest band ever. That's a good one. That's a funny one. Not that I don't like Bug Cherry, but Marcia says, I agree, Chucker John. I love the Beatles, Rolling Stones too. I can't possibly name all the bands I still love. I used to have a wall of albums, floor to ceiling. Yeah. I used to have a lot of albums too and stuff. All that stuff was gone. I had CDs, albums, cassettes, 8 tracks. I had it all. And over the years, a lot of it got stolen. you know. Anyhow, guys, I guess we'll go ahead and end the show. I know people got stuff to do. They got things going on, and I got to get going and start my day and get ready for work. I'm going to actually go to work today. So, but you guys are awesome. Thanks for all the great comments, and thanks for all the great, the super chats. We did unofficially make the goal. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. Thank you so much for that. I do appreciate you for all the donations. And we got, I guess I could go and look at the thing here for the fan funding. We had WW $1.11 super sticker. Thank you so much. Yippee. Michael Andrews, 222 super chat. Yippee. This was before I had to redo the thing. Michael McAndrews, member for 16 months. Yippee. Happy truck anniversary to Michael McAndrews. Michael McAndrews, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much. Yippee. Michael McAndrews with the $5 super chat. Yippee. And Nick Rich, 56 with the $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Yippee over there to Nick Rich. I think I may have missed that one. So sorry, Nick, if you're still on here. I'm not sure. But yippee to Nick Rich. Thank you guys so much for that. And let me go back to all messages. And so see, today is Thursday, so tomorrow, Friday, I'll come on at 11. We'll do it at 11 o'clock, and it'll be kind of like a Hal Sparks post-show hangout, in a way, kind of, sort of. Just remember, subscribe, and if you could get other people to subscribe, help get us out in the algorithm, so we can get to 4,000, and I will eat the dandelion when we get to 4,000 subscribers. So make sure you guys, if you haven't subscribed, make sure you do subscribe. And at least hit the notification button, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that kind of stuff will help the show to grow. So anyhow, thank you guys for being here. You guys are so awesome. And I'm going to go ahead and end the show with the words of wisdom. And then you guys, if you want to go over to Boston Brian and give me a shout out over there, like a Trucker John raid type of a deal, that would be really awesome. Say hi to Boston Brian for me, and I'll probably, turn them on too. So I'll see you guys over there. But anyhow, get your pen, pad, paper, and all that stuff for today's words of wisdom. Okay, ready? Here we go. All right. Today's words of wisdom are to just make sure.
Well, it's time to say goodbye. The show has come to an end. But don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again. Have some fun times, hopefully nothing too bad. We might talk about war crimes, might talk about Baghdad. I doubt we'll talk about door chimes, but if we did, I'd be only too glad. So hasta la vista, baby. The show is over, but could I ask you maybe to take a shower? No, that's not what I meant, but I couldn't think of anything to rhyme with over. Now my whole rhyming scheme is all screwed up. Oh shit, I should have stuck to truck driving, who I tried to kid. At least when I was out there driving, I could handle a skid, but doing this So I hope to see y'all again right here on the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna do it again and again, right here in the Trucker John live stream. Yeah, the Trucker John live stream. We're gonna come back and do it all again. No, this ain't no dream. This is where we win, right here on the Trucker John live stream. No, it's time to say goodbye. The show is coming in. Don't be sad, no, don't you cry. We're all gonna come back and meet again.
Trucker John, on the road he rides, live streaming all through the nights. From politics to pop culture he speaks. No topic is off limits, nothing is weak. From Vegas to the highways, he'll never tire, shouting about food, talking about desire. He's the rebel of the asphalt, the king of the night. With a microphone in his hand, he's ready to ignite. Freedom is his fuel, passion in his soul. Gotta express himself, gotta take control. Moving through the country, keeping it real, no filter, no holding back, nothing to conceal. Rolling down the highway in my rusty old rig. I'm a retired trucker, but my spirit's still big. Living in Vegas, where the lights never sleep. Broadcasting